My dudes, welcome. It is Monday. We are 5 days away, five away from the live episode of Tin Roof Podcast that we are going to do during the end of our awesome Mint 400 off-road race that we're going to be watching. Guys, I am so excited for that. Especially now that I found out that the Grand Marshal is going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin, who is also going to be racing in one of the UTV classes, which he actually won a fairly big desert race not that long ago. Guys, the people that are getting into desert racing, and this isn't a new thing. This is a fairly this has been a thing for years. Like, we talked about popular, celebrities and stuff that have raced in off-road races, including the Mint 400. We have discussed celebrities that have raced in the Mint 400 before. About a year ago we did. And so it definitely happens. And currently the off-road bug has bit the Texas rattlesnake. And so that's kind of cool. But I wanted to take some time today discussing short course off-road racing, because short course is like something that's really near and dear to me, because there's been so many different versions of it that have happened over the years. It's kind of been a big deal. So I'm going to give you a bunch of facts, talk about a couple of different cool things, and just try to give you kind of a cool history look on it. We are going to talk music. I do want to talk some cooking. This episode's not going to be super, super long, especially since we're going to be going a couple hours on Saturday, which, again, I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to be talking all kinds of things on that Saturday. We're going to talk music. We're going to talk racing. We're going to talk cooking, because I actually have a big cook planned that I want to show you guys, and I'll probably be cooking something else on top of doing that big cook. Maybe not. I don't know, because that one's going to be a challenge. Actually, I'll have had it finished by the time that comes around, because the brisket will be resting. Oh, spoiler alert, it'll be a brisket. So it's gonna be a fun day. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna be cooking. We're gonna be talking racing. It's gonna be an awesome day. Plain and simple. What more do you want? All right. That being said, I guess we'll start with the off-road side of things. So, to start, short course really found most of its beginnings in the 70s, whenever Score was founded by Mickey Thompson. Now, Score primarily today does more of your longer races. Parker is actually part of Unlimited. So there's a couple of different sanctions now, because Score does more of your Baja 1000, your Baja 250, 500. It steps up throughout the year. So this first one will be Baja 250, I believe, which if I'm not mistaken, Bryce Menzies won last year and the year before. Adam Householder did pretty good at it last year too. So there's a lot of cool stuff that we can dig into. So Mickey actually even had at one point an off-road series that started going into stadiums and stuff, and we'll get into all that here in a little bit, but we're going to use Wikipedia for some of this stuff, but we're going to really kind of dive into short course off-road racing, period. So you have Mickey Thompson founding his stuff in the 70s. We had a thing here in Wisconsin. I'm not from Wisconsin, so me saying here in Wisconsin, here in the Midwest is what I mean. We had Crandon, Wisconsin, which is still a huge ordeal. It's really cool because it's one of the very few places that does this, because Lucas Oil Off-Road, Traxxas, they all did pace laps, whereas Crandon, you do a land rush start, which is wild because they're all together. I love the start of Crandon, and turn one in Crandon is always wild. But so Mickey Thompson is the founder of Score, and the biggest, the coolest thing about the short course is it's more spectator friendly. Same thing with Rallycross. We got the Mint next weekend, and then as a family we've got the 100 Acre Wood here in Missouri the weekend after. So we're getting a handful of really cool racing events that we really enjoy very quickly, back to back. But Rallycross, again, you don't have to change stages to watch everything that unfolds for Rallycross. For a desert race, you're set up in one spot. There's several different spots for the Mint in particularly where you can set up. You can set up at the start-finish line where they've got the short course section. That's always been really cool. Although it sounds like they're going to add more to it and even have short course racing be a part of it, which is so cool. I'm really looking forward to that because I love it, obviously, because we're talking about this part in particular. But you're only going to see sections of the action because 400 means it's 400 miles. It's 3 laps around this particular track, and they go across the lake bed at one point that we have discussed before. They go through more of a hilly, brushy section where people really don't normally set up. Thankfully, we have helicopters and all different kinds of things where we can view it better now. But back then, having that short course opportunity to watch stuff where you don't have to leave this spot and you can see the entire track, big deal. Even nowadays, I think it's kind of a big deal. Although, me being a fan of monster trucks and stuff, and having to having the opportunity growing up and stuff, playing some of these games where Monster Truck Madness had a couple of different versions of longer race tracks. It'd be cool, but fuel cell wise and everything else, you really can't do it. But I would love to see monster trucks have that opportunity to do a longer race like that. Obviously, it would take a lot of work and a lot of R&D to do anything longer. Our longest racetrack right now in monster trucks is the figure 8. Well, it's not really a figure 8 anymore. It is an over-under, though. The over-under racetrack that they do in Charlotte every year for the back-to-school bash. And it's one of the wildest tracks out there, guys. Kind of the Mint 400. It has a reputation and a prestige about it. But same with Crandon, going back to short course, which is what my focus is trying to be. So SOTA became the sanctioning body at one point for off-road short course off-road racing. SOTA's success was tied to increasing support of manufacturers, and it became the predominant short course series after Thompson's death. So post Mickey, SOTA was it. But then in 97, Core Championship Off-Road Racing, founded by announcer Marty Reed, although eventually Core did fold in 2008, which huge bummer because Core was a big deal, and we're going to dive into some Core stuff here in a little bit. So differences in rules and regulations resulted in a schism between the West Coast and Midwestern United States. And this is where things get kind of cool because the Western guys ended up doing stuff that I really enjoyed and were able to gain a crazy amount of popularity to where even Midwest fans like myself ended up focusing more on that series than this one, and we're getting ready to get into that. So those series Core hoped to bridge the gap by racing in the other region. Both sides grew leagues of their own with their West Coast-based Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series and the Midwestern Torque Series, TORC, which is the Off-Road Championship, both debuting in 2009, the latter replacing the World Series of Off-Road Racing, which had gone defunct as well in the previous year. Loors, LOORRS, Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series, and Torque thrived with financial support from Lucas Oil and strong drivers, respectively, for over a decade. Dude, they were so awesome. Some of the best racing came from both Loors and Torque. I liked Lures more because of like guys that raced Lures, but Torque was right there at the end, like really booming. They were doing races in like Chicago. Crandon was one of their races. They had a lot going for them, and it was amazing. And then also before COVID, like 2013, we were getting ready to get another series on top of those two called Stadium Super Trucks, founded by Robbie Gordon. And that one ended up kind of like, it didn't boom as quickly as it was supposed to. And that one was really supposed to kind of mirror what Monster Jam did with their super off-road racing series that they did in like early 90s, about the same time that Core was founded. Because they had off-road trucks, they had buggies, they had four-wheelers, and then they also did a monster truck one, which monster trucks on short course racing, my favorite, personally. I love it. I really would love to see monster trucks take that route as opposed to what they're doing at Monster Jam and stuff now, which it's cool, don't get me wrong, like, I like, still love monster trucks, but a short course off-road racing style with monster trucks would be just like so cool to me. Particularly one of the tracks out west, it might have been at Wild West, the one in Utah. That one had such a cool, like, there's one of them that has a really cool ski jump where, I mean, it's like woo, down. I mean, it's awesome. I'm pretty sure that's the one, but yeah, I love it, plain and simple. However, financial troubles and loss of title sponsor Amsoil caused Torque to shut down after 2017, while COVID-19 pandemic led Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series to fold in 2020. Thompson's concept of stadium racing was revived by former Mickey Thompson Entertainment Group racer Robbie Gordon and his Stadium Super Trucks again in 2013. And the series began predominantly on street circuits, though it has occasionally returned to off-road courses and stadiums such as the Charlotte Motor Speedway, Dirt Track, and Lake Elsinore Diamond. I would really love to see the Stadium Super Trucks do more than the street circuit races that they've done. I want to see them do some really, really cool stuff. Yeah, just take off. Like, I really would love to see a stadium version that works well. Like, be back at the LA Coliseum where they're going up the stadium and back down like they used to. See something, happen here in St. Louis at, I call it the Edward Jones Dome. It's not called that anymore. I think it's called like the America Center or something. Arizona, with the football stadium there. And they, like, here's the thing, you don't have to rent out super, super high dollar venues every single time, because the three places that I mentioned right now, pricey in rental. Even Charlotte Motor Speedway would be fairly pricey in rental, but the rental prices for Charlotte as opposed to the America Center here in St. Louis, Edward Jones Dome, whatever, the dollar for renting that venue is going to be way different. So get you a handful of places Charlotte size. We got Federated Auto Parts I-55 Raceway right down the road from where I live. You could do some cool stuff there. It's a little tight. They've got some buildings on, the infield and stuff, but you could make it work. And you just go to places like that. Even Benton, Missouri. We got a racetrack in Benton, Missouri. Do it there. Like, there's so many options of cheaper rentals that you could make work until things get bigger. And Gateway has the side-by-side track that used to be a Torque track. Boom, let's go back there. Like, I would love to see these kinds of things revived. Just because short course, if you've never watched it, go YouTube it, because like once this episode's done, go check it out. So let's look at Torque first. So Traxxas Torque Series. So Traxxas at one point was the title sponsor, and Amsoil was one as well. And Amsoil really kept it going, obviously, because it went under after that. But Traxxas was the title sponsor from 09 to 13. I mean, it was purchased by the Armory in August of 2013. So it was sanctioned and officiated by the United States Auto Club, which they also do ARA for us rally fans here in the States. So, WSORR, what is that? World Series of Off-Road Racing. Oh, interesting. Okay. They have a link on Wikipedia to a page. A closed web page. Okay. So, divisions. Let's talk divisions. This would be cool. So, Pro 2 is a two-wheel drive trophy truck, and Pro 4 is a four-wheel drive trophy truck. So, Series was originally divided in Pro Sportsman and Grassroots divisions. The Pro division is headlined by a four-wheel drive Pro four-wheel drive class, which is fairly unlimited on like motor size and stuff like that. But it has to, the pound of your vehicle has to mirror, in a sense, the cubic inch of your motor. So I heard it explained, which was it's a simple way to explain it. 420 cubic inch motor, your truck has to weigh 4,200 pounds. So, or I believe I said that right, 4,200 or 42,000. Not 42,000 wouldn't make sense. 4,200. There we go. That's all just the pickups, which is interesting because I guess torque was mainly just pickups because with trophy trucks, because Lucas Oil had carts, they had buggies, and they had the trucks. So the carts were fun to watch, the buggies were fun to watch, the trucks were amazing to watch for Lucas Oil, just so much fun. But anyways, tracks. Let's talk tracks. Picture of CJ Greaves right there. So, before the inaugural season, Torque announced that it secured an exclusive deal with Bark River International Raceway and a 15-year exclusive deal with Crandon International Off-Road Raceway. It partnered with NASCAR-related tracks, including Tony Stewart's Eldora Speedway and Friday and Saturday events in conjunction with the Sunday NASCAR Nationwide Series event at Chicagoland. Torque did not race at Chicagoland in 14, but announced shortly after the completion of the season that it would once again host an event at the facility's dirt track in conjunction with the NASCAR Nationwide race there, June 18th through 20th of the 2015 year. They had races at the Antelope Valley Fairgrounds in 2012 and 2013. They did a couple of races for Sturgis, which I thought was super, super cool. Buffalo Chip Power Sports Complex, which is 2014 to 2015. Obviously, we've discussed Charlotte, Chicagoland, Crandon, Sackle Ranch in 2011, Dodge City Raceway out in Kansas on the year 2013, Eldora Speedway 2013, ERX Motor Park in Minnesota in 2016. I know a lot of these because I tried to get into some of these places whenever I was working in Monster Trucks. Gateway Motorsports Park in 2015, Langlade County Speedway in 2010. They made a venture out to Vegas, which is Lucas Oil's area, in 2009. I lost my place there for a minute. So they did one at the Motor Speedway out there. Sunnyview Expo Center 2009 to 2011. Paris Auto Speedway, which I can't remember where that one is, but I remember looking into that one. 2009. Pikes Peak International Raceway 2011. Even did some stuff at Redbud 2011 to 2013. Texas 2009, 2015, and 2016. Television coverage for them 09 pro events. They did some stuff on ESPN2 back in the day, ABC. Man, go back and watch some of this stuff. It's so cool. Search the Mickey Thompson Entertainment Group, which MTEG is the easiest way. MTEG short course is what I would search. Stadium Super Trucks, they're still doing stuff. You can watch their street circuit races that we were talking about. Just some really cool stuff that you can find out there. Another cool thing, like, so Travis Pastrana and a handful of other guys like that. You had some Ledukes that raced. Actually, I think the Ledukes raced both Torque and Lucas. But like Rob McCachran, who's a big deal, who we will definitely be talking about next week while we're watching the Mint 400. Bryce Menzies, Sheldon Creed, Ryan Beat, all those guys that have kind of become big deals. Like Sheldon Creed was racing NASCAR trucks not that long ago. He might still be racing NASCAR trucks. All those guys made Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series just amazing. And they actually even started venturing over into like Torque territory by racing here in Missouri. I cannot tell you how much fun it was to watch this stuff. I keep saying it because I just loved it. They had Brian Deegan as well. Jeremy McGrath would race some of those things. Something Duncombe. I can't remember his first name. He owned a monster truck called the Maverick Monster Tracker. He also had a Pro 2. I believe it was a Pro 2 that he raced a handful of races for Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series 2. So I thought that was cool, the cross between there. So to see that a short course off-road thing is coming back to life is very cool. That being said, let's talk music. So found out yesterday Zach Top and Billy Strings dropped a song together. Haven't listened to it yet. Totally can't wait to listen to it. We also have a handful of other big deals going on, like let's see. I was trying to think country music in particular, but my brain blanked, so we'll talk metal for a minute. Architects dropped an album. There's a handful of songs that aren't explicit that are really, really good on there. Everything Ends is probably my favorite at the moment from that album. Let's see. Oh, man. My brain is blanking. While I'm pulling stuff up, we'll talk cooking. So, I've got a pastrami beef cook that I'm getting ready to film next weekend while we're doing the Mint 400 stuff. But this week, the big video is I've done something kind of revolutionary. Not really, though. It's been done before. I'm just doing a variation of it and just kind of seeing what happens flavor-wise and everything like that. So we're going to be making a St. Louis style Twinkie. So it's still going to have the jalapeno, but what we're putting inside it is a piece of pork steak. We're putting provolone cheese with the cream cheese. And just going to see how that flavor profile works. Obviously still wrapped in bacon. We're going to use a sweet St. Louis sauce for a rub. I don't know what I'm going to do for a rub on the bacon just yet. But these things cook for like an hour, and I think I'm going to get a little while. I'm going to throw the seeds from the peppers back into the cream cheese. So, they're going to be hot. Yeah, they're going to be super hot, and I'm super excited about it. Man, like, I made a brisket thing of tacos the other night, like cooked it steak style. It was really good. Oh yeah, Avantasia. They're kind of like a fantasy themed metal band, which I really like those. They dropped an album, Here Be Dragons, which is like the front of it looks super cool. Brainstorm has Plague of Rats out. I haven't had a chance to listen to the album yet. I'm really looking forward to it. Grandma dropped Nightside. Still trending is This Consequence by Killswitch Engage, which it is a very good album. I enjoyed it a lot. There's a new band called Year of the Cobra that dropped an album that I'm really looking forward to listening to. Under Exile dropped a song yesterday. Guys, quit teasing me. Drop a full-length album, please. Pretty, please. Yeah, just some really cool like fantasy-themed drops as well. That's a cool one. Over the Edge by Red Fang. I'll have to listen to that. Fallen Star. So, Employed to Serve dropped another song from their album that's going to be coming out called Fallen Star. It's actually on the album going to be the song right before Atonement. And those two back to back, like, perfect. Loved it. Very, very cool. We have so much good music this year, guys. Already. From metal in particularly. Country, we've had a few good ones. Charles Wesley Godwin. His new album, EP dropped. And I loved it from beginning to end. Haven't listened to Gavin Adcock's new one. I'm going to have to do that. But Lonely Mountain Town by Charles Wesley Godwin. So good. Craig Morgan dropped a new album, American Soundtrack. I don't think that was yesterday. I think that's been... No, it was yesterday. Okay. Haven't listened to that one yet. I will be for sure. And Brett Kissel dropped a new one, Let Your Horses Run. It's a full-length album. It's 10 songs. It's going to be 34 minutes long. I'll have to listen to that this week. So I got some music to listen to this week, which is always exciting for me. I guess I need to check out Nothing on the Wild by Eli Young Band, because they're fairly that tune that I like. But that being said, guys, I really don't have much more for you. Thank you for talking short course off-road racing with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you for listening to some stuff about music. We did what we normally do here on Tin Roof, doing some cool discussion and whatnot. But let's get ready for the Mint. I'll see you guys in a couple of days right here on the